If you ignore this principle, it'll destroy your real estate investing career. What could I mean? Where am I going with this? Let me get right to it. Are you familiar with Bigger Pockets? Okay. Bigger Pockets is a great podcast. It's got great forum, great articles get written on Bigger Pockets. Highly recommend Bigger Pockets. One thing you should do is you should go to biggerpockets.com and you should try to get on their email list. They send out weekly emails that are on point. I think it gives you a really good understanding of what the hot topics, what the trending topics in real estate investing are. And this weekend, I got the email, and one of the articles I really appreciated. So I thought I would go ahead and spend some time talking about that article quick. Come back in a little bit, okay, bud?
Where's Mommy?
She's downstairs working out. Thanks, buddy. Hashtag real life. Okay, so this is the article I want to talk about really quick. Okay, let's make sure it's not cutting my head off here. All right, if you ignore this principle and you'll destroy your real estate career. Okay, I don't know Paul Moore, but reading up about him seems like the author here really knows what he's talking about. And I love this article. This is everything that, or so much of what we believe in at Greyline Investments, and gets rid of all the clutter and BS that's out there. Okay, so let's get right into this. If I don't know why that just disappeared. Let's see if we can get it to come back up again. Okay, ignore this principle and your real estate career will be destroyed. It's a great article. Go read it. I don't want to sum everything up here. Okay, but what he is getting at is the margin of safety. What he's saying here is if you don't understand and appreciate having a margin of safety in real estate investing, you're going to fail. So what is a margin of safety? And he writes it like this. The margin of safety is a principle of investing in which an investor only purchases assets when their purchase price is significantly below their estimate of intrinsic value. Okay. So I'm not quite that smart. Those are some big words. This is how I sum it up. What is an asset worth? What do I think the value of that asset is? The margin of safety is how much of a discount I need to buy that asset at. Okay. And he's taken this from Warren Buffett, who's the greatest investor of all time, value investor. I try to study him. I'm not nearly as smart as many of his disciples, but I'm trying, okay? So how does Warren Buffett talk about this margin of safety? He says, well, if you're driving a truck across a bridge that holds 10,000 pounds, and you've got a 9,800 pound vehicle, if the bridge is about 6 inches above the crevice that it covers, you may feel okay. But if it's, over the Grand Canyon, you may feel you want a bigger or a larger margin of safety in terms of only driving a 4,000 pound truck or something across. So it depends on the nature of the underlying risk, okay? Meaning, depends how much risk is at stake. It depends what kind of asset it is. But this is Warren Buffett talking about how important a margin of safety is. So how does this apply to today? Well, if we keep scrolling down, he talks about debt service coverage ratio, which I think is good. But one thing I think he hits that is super timely right now is this idea of why I'm not investing in multifamily right now. Frank and I get approached all the time. Like, why are you guys messing around in single family homes, small multifamily? Why don't you go big? Why don't you syndicate deals? Why don't you go into apartments? Everyone's in multifamily right now. That's where everyone's making their money. Why don't you guys do that? And there's multiple reasons, but a big reason is we right now don't feel like we can buy with a margin of safety. We feel like if you look at the market, most multifamily complexes are priced at the market, and getting that margin of safety, getting that discount is really difficult. Okay. I spent pretty much all of 2019 learning about apartment complexes and trying hard to buy one. And there's people out there that can do it, but I couldn't find a deal. I couldn't find a deal that I felt like this is what it was worth, and I can definitely buy it at a discount. And I love this article because it talks all about that margin of safety, how to buy at a discount. Okay. So another plug for the Bigger Pocket articles. You should get on their mailing list. You should read those articles. But in Gray Line Investments, single family assets, how do we have a margin of safety in our deals? We buy at a discount. Instant equity. That is the margin of safety, is instant equity. If I buy a house today, could I fire sale it and get my money back? Could I fire sale it and get my money back and maybe make a few dollars, right? That's what I'm looking at. So we've dumbed that down, in my opinion. We've made it as simple as possible. In our business, we look at it like this. We want to buy good assets in good locations at a discount. That is how we try to be value investors. Okay. We buy good assets in good locations at a discount. Okay. And that discount is that margin of safety. All right. And how much is that margin of safety? Depends on the deal. A lot of people want my buying criteria, right? They want to send me deals and say, hey, what do you buy at? Generally, I tell them 70% minus repairs. Okay. So if a house is worth $100,000, I want to buy it at $70,000 minus repairs. But that number moves depending on the asset. Okay. If it's a $70,000 house, it's the lower end of our spectrum. I want it cheaper than $70,000. Okay. Or 70%, right? If it's a $500,000 asset, right? And it's in good condition, I can probably bump my margin of safety up. We also move that percent of ARV depending on how big the rehab is. If it's a small rehab and there's not that many variables to play with, then our margin of safety can increase, right? And a small rehab to us is $20,000 or less, okay? But if it's a $50,000 rehab, if we have to redo foundation and we have to move walls and we got to mess with plumbing and electrical, if it's a $50,000 plus renovation, us personally, we're going to have to be significantly below 70%. We're going to have a margin of safety that's significantly bigger there. Okay. So a couple references that I think is good. 2 books, The Hondo Investor and Rule 1 Investing. Really like both those books. Shout out to my buddy Andy who put those onto me. Okay. But whether you are investing in stocks, in multifamily, in single family, whatever you're investing in, this is how I recommend doing it. Okay. Figure out what it's worth, buy at a discount, buy good assets in good locations at a discount. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Monday and a wonderful week. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Let's see if I can figure out how to stop this thing. Maybe. Come on. Have a great week.